2 down, 2 to go.
Right, yo. We just well, a movie coming soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We got a
movie coming
mixtape
soon.
dropping, a
Mixtape,
movie coming.
movie.
Every week we're gonna hit you with something fresh, something for your visual entertainment.
Yo, what that
Maybe
say on
strings.
your shirt though?
What?
What that say on your shirt though?
Oh, the dopest brand of all times and the dopest class of all time, Sweat Remix. If you don't know, where you been?
Yeah, where can they pick that up though?
I'm here at Links 5 days a week. I'm at the YMCA 4 days a week. Or you can just like hit me up and I'll come to your office and we'll work it out. That's all. Easy.
Easy.
Come on, Billy. Let me stand on it. I'm dying. Go, Billy, go! Go, Billy, go, Billy, go!
Angie with the post-workout feels right now.
Oh my god. It like makes me nauseous.
That's those knots, ladies and gentlemen.
That's hard work.
Hard work.
Not light work, hard work. Hard work.
Get it though. And y'all remember Rap City in the, well, y'all a little too young to remember Rap City in the basement, but yo, this is the creatives in the basement right now. Yeah, this is the creatives in the basement right now, and your boy Chris Neal's about to talk that ish.
Yeah, no, I mean we can just continue the conversation. Yeah, it's like one thing about when you're working with clients is it's tough because people always ask you, what do you charge? You know what I'm saying? And it's really hard to gauge or figure out a time estimate for the creative process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you literally, it's art. Like,
Yeah.
when am I gonna be inspired? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
How many inspiration points do I need to get to that final destination? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So people ask you this, like, and then of course you come to you get to the final product, and then you got edits and changes.
That's why it's like good for you to have like your own sort of creative flow and own process that people like paying you for that, for your vision. Like a project that I just worked with one of his clients, it was like, all right, she gave me what she was looking for, like the fear of missing out, right? So it was like when I got in there, it's like, what's the fear of missing out for me, right? Not what's the fear of missing out for Becky, right? The Becky analogy, but like, yo, if while I was editing the video, I was like, damn, I wish I was up in there and got like a little few shots and stuff like that. So it was like, she wanted that, but through my lens, through my eyes, right? So another client, you know, I gave her the same sort of treatment. It's like she wanted to create a program for her clients. So I told her like, what is it that she's looking for? She told me, but then when you give it the piece of your art to the client, you know, yeah, you can interpret it the way that you want, but then the outside influence of others is like why are you giving it to others to critique when it's our relationship that manifested this piece, right? Ask the market for what it is, for what they want, and then you can optimize. You can't just have like these birds chirping in your ear and then you're just like in the hole digging, like spending thousands of dollars on like optimizing it when you have not made a penny off of it yet. So
I think it comes down to like one, operating from the inside out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've come to realize that, meaning when I say realize, meaning I knew it already. You know, since sometimes you go off the beaten path and then sometimes you come kind of recenter yourself and realize like, okay, wait, how does this whole thing start? You know, I created this because I liked it. You know what I'm saying? And I did it enough to where people start asking me how much do I charge to do this. And I'm like, oh, well, I like this. They like it enough to ask me to do it for them too. So now, okay, the market has informed me that maybe my preferences of what I design is marketable, right? But I think when you say like, when you try to please everyone, you please no one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you kind of, that's where I think a lot of businesses kind of get distracted. It's kind of like, there's no such thing as perfection.
Exactly.
It's not going to be perfect. I can design it, redesign it. It's never going to be perfect. But how do you close that feedback loop? The shorter the feedback loop, the quicker you go get to the destination at the end of the day.
Because now you have like an art piece where you're like, all right, here it is floating. Like put it out there. Because everybody I showed the piece to, they loved it. And then I showed her the piece, she loved it, and now it's like, you know, getting that outside feedback from not even the market.
Yeah.
The market is not even telling them what to optimize. That's the only issue. Is like the market is not telling you what you should optimize.
Yeah.
If the market tells you, then you proceed to, you know, redirect your efforts into optimizing it. But if it's like hasn't been tested, then
But
how would you know?
at the same time, it's like you kind of in this interesting paradox though too, right?
Yeah.
So what's the threshold of, okay, I've refined it, edited it, and looked at it enough to just shoot your shot? Like, when do you say you optimize it too much versus saying, all right, first draft, you know what, F it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just push it out there and let the market react to it, even though it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's like your vision that you started off with, right? And as you take action, your vision becomes more clear. So if your initial vision was to take action, put this together, that is the piece itself. Now, when you take the action, put it in the market, they tell you what it is that they want to optimize. That's the vision. That's the feedback that you're getting to make it more clear.
Yeah.
You don't want to just keep on like just thinking, putting it against other pieces, because we're not competing, right? When you're creating, like, you want to create from within your core. When you're competing, you're just trying to beat the next man, and then that is in a losing position, because that next man put his stuff out to the market already and is getting that feedback and optimization, and what you're doing is just trying to best him. And trying to like get your work to best him as opposed to best serve that market. So like once you take that action, put your piece together, put it out there, get that feedback to optimize it, then you'll understand. But you can't just like put it out and not know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, so you mentioned systems and processes. Like, I go through the same process every single time when I'm doing something. Like, I've taken the creative process and I go through the same journey every time. A lot of times people come to you about something creative, and I'm like, okay, well, what type of vibe or culture are you trying to create? What are your core values? What is the essence of your business or brand or whatever you're trying to create? Because that's ultimately going to inspire whatever things that I create. But a lot of times they hadn't really thought about the core elements to even help inform me on how to do that. So a lot of times it's stepping back to step forward to say, okay, well, let's figure out what that is, and then we move forward. Then after that, it's like, okay, now we say, how do we align the visual to that desired perception? So you're defining your perception, creating the perception, and then you throw that perception out to the market.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So that's really the three-step process. But a lot of times what gets missing is the opinions of the opinions that you get. It matters who they are, because, like, for instance, you've been involved with my client a while, so you kind of understand the vision and the core value systems and what it is about, so that you are able to sit down and do it. But if I go to a random person and say, what do you think about this, they might start giving me their opinion based on their personal preference, rather than giving their opinion based on what's best for what type of content that I'm trying to create.
Yeah, exactly. So like from a creative perspective, right, the video that I made with his client is like, from the objective of what she wanted to achieve is like the fear of missing out effect, right? That's what she wanted to give out to her audience. Like, next time this event comes around, you need to be there to experience exactly what it is that you saw in the art piece, right? But then there's the creative factor where it's like we're talking and then we're like seeing how the clips and everything, you know, align. So that's two different sort of sides of the spectrum, right? Her audience needs to like not miss out on the next event. Now we're just like in the details, in the trenches, like, yo, this is what we captured, this is what we got to work with. This is what I would like to use for future videos or like future social promotions and stuff like that. So
What I think is funny about, and I don't know about you, but I think of the creative process, and I just use the analogy for how my creative process, I don't know what yours is, but for me, I think of it like putting together a puzzle, right?
Yeah.
So before it happens, people's like, how do you come up with what you come up with? I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going before it happens. It just the day it is, I get all my puzzle pieces together. Okay, what video content did I capture? What music do I have? At my disposal? You know, what graphics do I do? What graphics what graphic inspiration pieces do I want to look at and say, okay, this is
Yeah.
going to inform the type of vibe that I was trying to get. Now I look at all these puzzle pieces and I'm like, okay, how do I put these puzzle pieces together to create the picture or create the perception that my client ultimately wants?
Yeah.
And then I take all those puzzle pieces, put them together, and it's like, all right, cool. Is that the picture you want? And sometimes you may have to readjust, but it ultimately,
just a little bit.
Ultimately, it's like, okay, those puzzle pieces. But sometimes that's why the planning process is so important, because sometimes you're like, damn, if only I had that one last piece.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what sucks.
Yeah.
But you're like, yo.
So it's tough, and then
Yeah.
that gets to the point where, because there's a lot of creatives out there who just consume a ton of content and not putting forth the effort. It's like the compounding effect. So the more that you create, like there's a drastic contrast from the first video I did, right, to the second one, right?
Yep.
You can literally see the two like effects. It's
Yeah.
like I had more time, and then the amount that I've created before that video versus the amount I created after that video, it shows in the two videos.
For sure.
Right? So the more I'm creating and the more like pieces that I get to work with or clients I get to work with, I ultimately see exactly how, you know, the quality of the content, you know, differs. So it's really depends on, especially when when she first approached me, like her language wasn't the same when it came to the second videos, because the first one she wasn't talking about the fear of missing out, right? She was talking about, I want just to show the vibe of the class, all three pillars of the class, the Zen, Rage, Heal. And now she was like, I want the fear of missing out. So her, by doing the class, getting feedback from her audience, excuse me, rather, she understood what it would take to get more people into the class. So by her transforming within her vision, you know, it allowed me, and me transforming in my creative process, it allowed us to align and create this awesome stuff.
So with that being said, though, like, there's obviously a common theme.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, one of the things that I'm hearing is, one, just keep your feet moving.
Yeah,
keep
just keep
doing. Because as you keep doing, you're gonna start to realize things and see things that you may not have seen before, especially when it comes to what likes and dislikes.
Yeah,
even
it's like I use the iPhone analogy all the time. It's like, look at the iPhone 10 versus the iPhone 1. iPhone 1, they worked with everything that they had, meaning thoughts, all of that. Then they put it out to the market. Market tells them, I want a camera, I want FaceTime. They want all of those different features. Then they go back and to the drawing board and do that for the clients. So that's the thing. If you're just like sticking and trying to perfect version 1.0, that's not going to yield any results. So you want to get version 1.0 to the market as fast as you can, so they can tell you what it is that they want and what they will be willing to pay for, so that you can in turn service them.
Yeah,
That's this, right? My man. Word. Golf instructor extraordinaire. Get your reps in. All right, holla at them. We're at links, by the way. And who's this paging me at 5:46? Well, that was an awesome conversation. I definitely got to get him on the podcast. This was like an impromptu conversation. Tell him how this came about. This conversation came about.
How it came about?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why we
Like
even
you
said
just
that?
told us, we was just chopping it up.
Yeah, we were just talking. Sometimes you just start mind building and having a conversation with people, and then I was like, wait a second, we gotta capture this content, because I feel like what we're saying is something that somebody could use in the future, especially when it comes to creative process. Like, being a creative is challenging, especially when it comes to monetizing your craft. You know, and not only monetizing your craft, but also managing your time. At the end of the day, what we're really talking about is time, and how do you optimize your use of time. You know, the creative process is not a finite thing. So then you're talking about a transaction with somebody, and how do you manage that creative process and managing the transaction and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of how it came about. But now it's kind of, now we're at this point of, okay, we have an understanding of what that is, but getting control of it. So yeah, that's kind of where we started, and that's kind of where we're ending. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Hit us up in the comments. Let us know if you found this conversation or the topics in this conversation helpful or useful, and we'll make more videos just like it. All right, Chris, Chin.
Yep.
Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, the Chris Neal. Sorry, Neal Creative is my business. Chris Neal, TheChrisNeil, and then Neal Creative is my my name of my business, my alias for my creative work. Sweat Remix is one of the logos we created. You know, dopest fitness brand out. Keep an eye out for that. We got some video content we're gonna release for actually what we're talking about here today.
Yeah, look, yo, it's a movie. Yo, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah, we make movies out here. So yeah, we're gonna release the soundtrack. We're gonna release the movie. You know, we're gonna win some awards if we can. Yeah, we're gonna change your life. You know,
yo,
that's all it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
All right, holla.